Hello, and welcome to this little video tutorial on how to use dates in Excel. We follow on from the first in the series, which showed you how dates worked within Excel, but it's not absolutely necessary to have seen that one. Just see if you can follow the drift here. This little table represents a fairly typical scenario that many people use in Excel, and you'll see that it's got a couple of date columns in there. Very often, when we've got a date of birth column, it's also very useful to know how old somebody is. I'm going to put a column in to handle that now. Insert, and just type age. Clearly what we're going to need here is a formula that calculates the person's age in years from their date of birth. We dealt with this in the previous video, but I'll work it through step by step for you now again, just in case you missed it. We'll start by using the formula equals now, open close bracket. That gives us today's date. We want to then edit that formula by saying equals now minus the date of birth. Now that's left it formatted as a date. It's clearly rubbish. We don't want it like that at all. We want to format that as general, and that gives us the person's age in days, 11,585.7 days, which we then want to have divided by the number of days in a year, which is divided by 365.25, because there are leap years to take into account, which happen every 4 years. So we divide it by the extra quarter and press enter. I'm going to take that formula there, just drag it down, and now we've got the ages of everybody in the list. I'm going to have a look now at our passport expiry, because we don't want to know when it expires, we want to know how many days it is until it expires. I'm going to insert a column here to make room for it. Days to expiry. Press enter. When I talk about today's date, I am going to confuse you slightly because clearly my today's date is not going to be the same as your today's date. So I'm going to put today's date here just to make things clear, and that is equals now, open close bracket, press return. Bit too wide, that, going to format it as a date is like that. That's a bit better. So now we know that I'm making this video on the 7th of June. The formula we need here is going to be a little simpler than working out somebody's age. We are only interested in the number of days, not the number of years, so we don't have to divide by 365. So we take equals now, open close brackets, minus our passport expiry, and press enter. And we get one of Excel's little irritating tricks where it thinks we're dealing with dates, but in fact we want a number here. I'm going to right click there, format the cells as a number with 0 decimal places. I'm not bothered about the odd half day. Say OK, and that's 4 days. Well, actually, it isn't. That's the 4th of June. That's the 7th of June. That should be minus. We've got the formula back to front. So I'm just going to edit the formula there. That minus that, and press enter. There's minus 4. I highlight that, copy it to the bottom, and then we're done. When we're looking at large amounts of data, it can be very difficult to see the significant information. It would be very nice to highlight in some way when the figures are negative, so we don't have to strain our eyes too much. So we click on the Home tab, and we'll do a little bit of conditional formatting. I want to highlight cells where the value is less than 0, and light red with a fill of dark red text. That looks okay to me. Say OK, and come out of there, and there we have it. If you want to add more people to your list, Elizabeth Windsor, who was born 21st of April 1926, you don't automatically get the formula replicated. You're going to have to drag it down each time, and that's a bit of a pain, particularly if you've got people who aren't used to using Excel. It would be nice, you might think, to have an automatic way of having the formulas dragged down for you as soon as you enter something on the bottom of the sheet. Well, luckily there is a way to do that in Excel, and we'll be looking at that in the next video, which introduces the concept of tables. Thank you very much for listening.